Hello everyone. In this video, I want to show you a great add-in to SolidWorks called Quicksurface. This is great if you want to do reverse engineering. You have 3D scan data or anything like that, a mesh file, and you want to convert it to a solid object. Now, for 30 days, it has a free trial, so you can go ahead and try it, and that's exactly what I'm doing right now. It is very powerful, and again, you can add it to SolidWorks. So let me show you what you can do. So first, you download the software from that website and install it, and when you do, now before you use it, you go to Tools and Add-ins. Another thing I have to say is they send you, once you download the software and register, they send you an activation key and you have to use it to activate it. And when you insert the key, the activation key, you have to restart the software. So look here now, if you go down, you see I have already added Quicksurface and I can add it to startup if I want to. Now, once this one is checked, now you can go ahead and use it. And the way to do it is typically it adds a tab itself for you here, but if it's not, you can always right click, go to tabs and make sure that this check mark is there for Quicksurface. Otherwise, click on it and you're going to get Quicksurface. And this is the environment. These are the tools and toolbars. And the first thing you want to do is to import the mesh file. So here you're gonna import, and here I made the STL file of a chest pond that I made in one of my previous videos. You pick your units, you can pick to center it at origin, and if in this CAD software or whatever that was used, the Z-axis was upward, you can map it to the Y, which is upward in SolidWorks. In this case, since it was already made in SolidWorks, I don't need to map this. So okay it, and very fast, there we go. You have your STL file added. Now, clearly you can see this is hollow, right? There we go. You see it's a hollow file, but I can turn it into surfaces or solid objects. Now, there are several tools here. First thing you can do is if you click on info here, it shows you the information of the mesh, right? You see this one has 13,000 triangles. And then you have basically options for editing and some other tools, like if you want to reduce the number of triangles, you can decimate, you can reduce noise, you can scale it, and there are a bunch of other options that are powerful, and maybe I show them in future videos, but right now I just want to show you some important tools that you have for reverse engineering. So one of them is extract primitive, the other one is cross section, and the other one that is the easiest one to use is automatic surface. Okay, so here we go with the first one, automatic surface, and you pick how many of the quad surface elements you want to be used to replicate the surface of this object. Do you want a few, medium, a lot, or custom? Now, if I do a little bit, you probably are not going to get a good result, especially when you have sharp changes in the surface like that. Look here. You're going to see, as you can see, some deformations, right? And the surface is not going to be that sharp and that nice. And even if I go fine here to 4,000, still might not give me what I want. Okay, look here, it's much better than the low one. Still, you have a lot of waves here, right? So I can go to custom and I can say, hey, give me, I don't know, 14,000 or 15,000. And this might take some time, depend on how fast your computer is, but if it's fast enough, ideally it should not take a lot of time and it should be able to calculate it with 15,000 patches. And there we go, look. Now it's much better, much smoother, and much closer to the mesh. And if you want to compare this fitted surface to the mesh, you can activate this deviation tool. And here it can tell you that the red spots, okay, and the blue spots are the spots that you have plus or minus, basically in this case up close to 0.25 or a quarter of a millimeter, right? And clearly, of course, it is in the sharp transitions, but that's not really too bad, correct? And that's pretty close. So if you want, you can turn this off and okay that. And now, because this mesh file was a closed mesh, there was no hole or nothing in it, this is going to be turned into a solid object. Look here. You see? It's completely solid. So it filled it already with solid object, and you can see it here. Okay? If there is a hole in the mesh and you don't repair it, and it's an open mesh, basically, it will convert it into a surface for you instead of a solid object. Now you might say, can I do anything with the solid object? Can I cut a hole through it or anything? Sure. Here, if I go to the front plane, right, and I put a circle somewhere here, right, let's say right here above the origin or something like that. Yeah. Right. So can I put this hole through the head of this pawn? Absolutely. Look here. So if I go here and then say extruded cut through all both ways. Okay. Now you might say, what is this? Doesn't look like a hole. Yeah, it is. The only thing is you have to hide the mesh. Okay. So once you bring in the mesh and you fit the surface, go ahead and hide the mesh. And now look. Here we go. Beautiful, huh? And you can always get rid of these lines. And now look. Here we go. Okay? So you can absolutely do that. That's the first tool that we're going to use. Now, the second tool that you can use instead of this is the cross-section and cross-section curves. So here we go to Quicksurface. And we can create cross-section of this object with different planes. And once we get the curves of this object, now we can use different tools in features like loft or sweep or revolve or extrude or anything and recreate the object very accurately. Okay, so here, let's say I go to the front plane and I say, give me cross sections of this guy. And look, here we go. It gives you the cross section. And if you want, you can go with more than one cross section, right? So here, you see, I can get 10 different cross sections at different planes. Okay. And now that I have all of those, I can use a loft probably between them. But since this object is a simple revolve, all I need is one profile like that. And I can basically ask it to create it on the slicing plane, outline, and so on. And now look here, it gives me this. Now you might say, can you use this one and basically revolve it? No, because this one is not really a sketch. So if you want to use it, that is not something you can like break into half using the trim tool and revolve it. You have to fit a sketch to this curve here. Okay, you cannot directly use it, but you can use it to draw over that like a picture or something. So for that, you can go to sketch here, right? And then let's say go to the front plane, the same plane used for cross section. And now, one way is you can do it yourself manually with these tools, but a better way to do it, if you want, I won't call it better, an easier way to do it is to go to Quicksurface, and now it has this tool for you, Fit Sketch Entities. So now you can tell it, hey, I want you to fit a line through these points or a curve or a circle or anything like that, and it does it for you, right? So let's say I want to fit a circle, and then you paint all of the basically nodes or points, and look, beautiful, huh? Just like that, correct? Or I have a line here, and then you grab it, your marker or your brush, and here we go. It just does a curve fitting. And here, let's say another one. So something like that, right? And then you can do, for instance, something like this one here, and so on. And then let's say I want a curve, so it can fit these guys a curve, and you can keep going. And once you have the profile of this object, half of it, you can revolve it and you can create your object. Okay, so this sketch entities, extract sketch entities, is extremely powerful. And that's another way that you can do it. Okay, so now that we have seen the cross section and the sketch, let me show you one more tool that is available in this add-in, and that is extracting primitives. So look, that's right here. And this time you can fit 3D shapes to the parts that you highlight. So I pick the brush, and you can change the size of the brush. I change it to 4D so I can grab bigger areas, right? So let's say here, I want to go with the brush, and I want to basically paint as much as the sphere that I can grab, so the fitting is more accurate. Let's see, there we go. And now I say I want a sphere, so give me a sphere, and it does. And then do you want only reference entities of the sphere, like only the axis, the maybe the sketch and the center, or do you want to fit a surface to it, or do you want to fit a solid to it? So I would say I want to fit a solid to it. Again, you can activate the deviation, and you see it's extremely small this time, and say create. Okay, and now as you can see, it has fit a sphere. And if you hide the pawn, you can see that it fit this beautiful sphere. And it also gives you the axis of it, the points and the 3 planes of it. And it also gave you the sketch of it, which is half a circle, and the revolve command. Okay, so if you want to do it all at once and fast, automatic surface is the way to go. But of course, when you have a lot of these sharp transitions, you will have big deviations. If you want to do a better job, you can do cross sections, and depending on the type of the features, you might need one or so many. And a primitive also can do some kind of job for you. So it directly extract the 3D features. So when you extract the profile, you need to revolve it, but primitive already takes care of that. So it depends on how much you care about accuracy versus speed, right? And of course, you can compare. So if you have 2 meshes or anything, you can compare them. And there are more to it. There is 3D sketch on the scan. So you can draw the sketch on the scan, right? Okay, like this one, and you can draw some kind of sketch. Again, we'll get to this one, right? So you see there are different things that you can do on the sketch. And if you go around and take a look at this, you see that the sketch actually tries to stick to the object to the best of its capability. Okay, now it might not be perfect, but it can, and I'll talk about it in a separate video, that one and this one here, new freeform, which is a manual fit of the surface to the mesh file. And this is the license. This is where you click and insert your license key, and it will get activated. There is user manual. These online tutorials are extremely good. There are tools for alignment and so on. And as I said, I'll try to have a second video on that. And if you want files, right, you don't have a good STL file, you want one, so you can get some of these, right? So I can go ahead and say, hey, give me the impeller, or give me something else, right? Let me see if I can hide this so you can see it. Okay, now of course that's much smaller, but you can see that this is just a partial scan. It's not perfect. And can you reverse this into a real clean impeller just by a portion of the scan? In those online tutorials, you see that they do it. Anyways, this is a very, very powerful software, so I just wanted to share it with you. Hopefully you liked it. I'll see you in the next video.